Yo, what is going on today, fam? So we're back again today, and as you can see, the vet is behind me, and that means, yes, we're working on it once again. But today we are going to be solving a intermediate no start issue that I've been having, and I've had trouble chasing it down. So if you are experiencing an intermediate no start, as you probably already guessed, your answer is your starter. But the starting system on the Corvette consists of the ignition switch. It's a 50 amp fuse, I believe, a maxi fuse. Then there's a depth deterrent relay, and then that sends power to your starter solenoid, which spins your starter. So there's not really that many pieces to troubleshoot to figure out if it's your starter. You just gotta kind of start there and work your way over. But I'm gonna show you why the starter goes bad. So as you can see, I have these beautiful long tube headers right here. Shout out to Speed Engineering, sponsor me. But I got these beautiful long tube headers here, but right there is my starter. So the light's not super great, but you guys can see there's not even an inch between my headers and my starter right there. And my headers destroy my solenoid, so when it gets hot, it does not start. So problem solved. Well, mystery solved, but not the problem. But this is the resolution right here in my solution. So I have a new Bosch starter. It's like OEM quality. I couldn't find a brand new AC Delco, and all the ones I saw were remanufactured, and they still cost more than this Bosch did new. This is the part number right here, SR8581 November. Don't worry, everything I show you guys, it will be linked in the description below, because that's how I do business. I'm gonna help y'all find the path of least resistance, and also I usually make a little commission from the links. So we're gonna take out our starter. Let me explain this to you. So you guys might be wondering why the starter only comes with one bolt, and I'm gonna explain that. So before we get to it, the starter does not come with this heat wrap on it. The heat wrap is something I did myself. It's this DEI Design Engineering Incorporated cooling tape, cool tape insulating tape. So I've already gone ahead and strapped on some pieces there with some of this adhesive spray, because this stuff is super sticky, like nothing comes apart from that. So yeah, so here, right here, this is the new starter. This is the truck starter, because it's the truck updated style starter, and it has two equal length bolts instead of one shorter bolt and one longer bolt. People say it's weaker. I don't know it to be true. I don't know. People be cracking the block on accident. Like it's a whole thing. But either way, they say with the two long bolt design is much better. So you reuse your OEM long bolt and then include one long bolt there. People on the forum said it came with the bolt, but I wasn't 100% sure, so I ordered some extra bolts off of Amazon, which I will also link in the description. So, and to protect this even more, hold on, let me set my camera up where I have more fresh DEI products. Go ahead and get this opened up. We have this starter cool sleeve protector. So this is going to wrap around the starter. I'm gonna have to cut it to fit, but just to give you guys an idea of what the purpose of this is, I'll show you. So it's gonna be something like that, and this is gonna protect my starter from being completely obliterated, but you are gonna have to cut it, like I said, to fit your application. So without further ado, because y'all love hearing me talk straight for 5 minutes, you're like, man, I came here to learn how to take off my starter. All right, so I have long tube headers. It's gonna be a bit different if you have OEM manifolds, but either way, whether you have headers or OEM manifolds, you are gonna have to remove pretty much the center section of your exhaust. With my particular application, I'm just gonna be removing, I'm gonna come back here, I'm gonna take out these two bolts right there from the mufflers, like that, so my X pipe can hang loose. I'm gonna undo these hangers right here. I'm gonna loosen up these bad boys. Oh, I know this is gonna be so fun to take apart. loosen up these bad boys and pull out this whole X section. And when I pull out that X section, I'll be able to loosen up my header bolts. I might have to pull out the whole header, actually. I'll be able to loosen those bolts at the flange and then move my header out of the way and position that so I can go ahead and get access to the starter. So the actual job of the starter isn't that hard, but yeah. But first thing is first, before I even do any of that, I'm going to disconnect my negative, okay? Because you will be dealing with some very high voltage wiring and all that good stuff. So first things first, disconnect your negative. Damn, that thing looks clean. All right, so take out this negative right quick. Oh, I always keep a wrench inside the car for this. This is a 8mm negatives right here. Just gonna go ahead and loosen that bad boy up and move that out of the way. Make sure it's not able to ground on anything. Keep in mind you won't have access to your trunk once you remove this, so just make sure you got everything you need. Bam. So we're just gonna put that down there. Negative is removed. So let's get it. I'm gonna start taking this exhaust apart. Y'all, I'm not looking forward to doing this. I'm gonna be real with you. I've been kind of like dreading this all week because I know I need to do it because I want to go to the track this weekend, but I don't know. I really don't like working on my car that much, to be honest with you, but it's an ends to a means. So yep, let's do it. Exhaust is off. Oh, my headers have been loose this whole time, as you can see. Actually, I think when I was pulling on the exhaust to get it off, that's what loosened it up. So I'm gonna have to reset that once I get everything back on the car. Didn't take too long. So now what we are gonna have to do, now that this whole header assembly can rotate freely, I'm gonna have to drop down the car and take out the spark plugs, take off the wires, all that stuff to get access to our bolts for the header. Whew. And yeah, start loosening that up so we can make us enough room to get this starter out. Get these headers right, so you're gonna have to remove your dipstick. Pretty easy. All it is this one bolt holding it in. If you follow the dipstick where it branches off into the block, loosen that up. I don't have a size for you. You're gonna need this 5/8 spark plug socket right there. Use that. Pretty easy. So just gonna go ahead and remove the oil dipstick and then remove the spark plugs, and we'll go from there. So spark plugs are out, obviously wires are out. I got that oil dipstick, nut bolt, whatever out, 15mm, by the way. All right, so once you get that out, right, and then your dipstick is loose, what you can literally do is just pull up on your dipstick, kind of finagle it because it's a little curve, and bam, dipstick is out like that. Then just put your dipstick to the side. Always keep the nuts and bolts that go with it, whatever with it. So drop that right there. All right, cool. So now our header is ready to be loosened. So I believe these are 1/2" bolts, but let me not lie to you. Yeah, 11mm fit up on them. So yep, 11mm works for these ones. These are aftermarket. I'm not sure if the OEMs are the same size or not, but I did this header install not too long ago, so these should come out fairly easily. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove these right quick. Whew. And then we'll work on getting the header out of the way so we can do what we came here to do. So we have our header loose. Now we are able to access, you can see that upper bolt and that bottom bolt right there. Hopefully you guys can see, probably not, but there's a big nut in there that holds the, well, pretty much all the wires on the starter right there. So we need to get that off, but other than that, shouldn't be too difficult to get this thing on out. So I'm gonna work that. I'm gonna be itchy as hell with all this shit falling off this header. But, all right, so I kind of got my light positioned up here. Hold on. Let me readjust so you can see better. All right, so as you can see, there are, maybe you can't see. This is such a terrible place, y'all. All right, so the main post is a 13, you can see it, and then the smaller one is an 8 mil. So I'm gonna show you. Good thing about having an extra one. So on the OEM starter, the main post nut is a 13 mil. And then on the new starter, the main one is a 8 mil, excuse me. And then the smaller one is an 8 mil. You don't have to worry about this one. There's no extra wires that come to it. Always, you know, it's just this wire coming from here to the starter itself, that power wire that sends power to the actual starter from the solenoid. So the way this works is power goes into the solenoid through here, right? This is your ground right here, right? And when you click the ignition switch, the solenoid is activated and it sends power to the starter, and your starter engages, goes on your flywheel, starts this thing up. So not too difficult. It's a tight space for sure, but what I've been using is this small 1/4 inch ratchet. I use this kind of deep well 13 right here, and then now I'm gonna use a deep well 8, and that's been working for me pretty well so far. Okay, so got those wires all loose, got the ground loose. So we are in good business there. So far, so good. So now what I am going to do is go ahead and loosen these two 13 mil, oh shit, yeah, these two 13 mil bolts right there. Those are starter bolts, and there's one inside. It's recessed, kind of hard to see, but trust me, it's there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off those. Be mindful that when you take these out, your starter will fall. So don't get hit in the face. And like that, the old starter is out. Yeah, what can I say? It's a starter. We know what it looks like. Let's not spend all day getting it in, but I do want to highlight the differences between the two, and that's this. So I'll flip them over like that for you guys. You can see how this one has two long sides and this one has that recessed one. And people say you can break the block on this side. You know, I don't know, but yeah, people say that can happen. So this one just happened to be a good price, so I just picked this up. I wasn't really too concerned about it, but yeah, we got our two long bolts here now, so they'll go in like that. So next thing we need to do, we need to trim up this DEI wrap so we can cover the starter and protect it. Obviously, we have to leave enough room, and so that the wires and all that good stuff can sit on the starter like they should. So yeah, I'm gonna start working that now. So got this trimmed up. I used a pair of dikes, pretty simple, just want to long it like that. Hopefully this won't be an issue. I'm gonna just kind of bend this up, kind of like out of the way, and hopefully it'll be good. But yeah, so got that how it should be there. So essentially what I'm going to try and do is rotate this to where the Velcro is like that way. Oh no! I need to get like a staple or something and hold this, because this whole thing. Oh no, it stops there. Oh no. Okay, that's no bueno. But yeah. Actually, I know what I'm gonna do. But yeah, so essentially I want to get this to where I can put on those wires how they should be and kind of just move this out of the way like that and just close it on the wires. So that's how I'm gonna try to do that. So we'll see how it goes. So you can see new starters in right here. I haven't hooked up any of the lines and whatnot yet. Just want to make sure everything was where it needed to be. Just undoing this piece just so it hangs like so, just so I can go ahead and get all of these wires on. Then I'm gonna close it back up. So I want to show you what I did here with the wrap. I actually cut a hole in it to fit the power cord through, and just so it would like sit flush. I threw a couple staples up in it just to keep it together, but it shouldn't go anywhere. And yeah, that looks pretty solid. You know, the starter's a lot more protected than it was before, so I'm gonna chalk that up as a win. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and torque down the 2 starter mounting bolts now. They are gonna be torqued 37 foot-pounds, so need to go grab a torque wrench. And so I had started to torque my starter mounting bolts, and then I thought about, I was like, let me get some Loctite, like just in case, like the off chance that these things come loose, because I don't want to do this job no time soon. So I'm just put a little bit of Loctite on both of these things, and I'll go ahead and torque it down to 37 foot-pounds. So yeah, just a dab. You don't need that much. It runs through the threads and all that stuff. All right, so time to get the header back on. And before I get everything like super tight, one thing I am going to do is once I get my spark plugs at least back in and stuff, I'm going to try to bump the car one time just to make sure that the starter is actually working, and just so I don't get too far, and then yeah, like stuff not be how it's supposed to. So yep, I'm gonna go ahead and start throwing the car back together. All right, y'all, so got everything back together. Spark plug wires, header's tight, full exhaust is tightened down, oil dipstick. Yo, make sure you don't forget to put back in your dipstick, bro. It's definitely a real thing. But yeah, so let's go ahead and give her a start. The car sounds mad healthy though. Hold on, bro. Where are my keys? For real this time. Let's give her a start. Here's some of that chop. Like clockwork. So I'm super stoked to have that problem fixed. It was a plague. It made me not want to drive the car, obviously, because it wouldn't start sometimes. God dang. Yeah, but shout out to Bosch, shout out to DEI for, you know, the thermal wrap and the thermal, and then the thermal tape. Definitely come in handy. And I'll have all these parts linked in the description. God damn, bro, I'm losing my voice. Woo.
You good?
Yeah, bro. Need some water.
I love the sound of this fucking chop, man.
Yeah, man. Chop swell, excuse me. Okay. But yeah, man, I'm gonna have all these parts linked in the description. Make sure to like and subscribe and all the other YouTube stuff. Take it easy. Woo. I'm out.
Yeah. Coast